Good morning, everybody. Today's episode of Coffee with Karen is going to address anxiety during this time of uncertainty. And I just I hadn't planned to do this when I started off, but this morning on social media, one of my friends posted this poem, and I just thought it was really powerful and kind of spoke to what I wanted to talk about. So bear with me as I read it. It's kind of long. This episode will probably be a little bit longer, so sorry for that, but I think it's some good stuff. So it says, "Relax, Mom. Relax. Just stay home, except if you need to work. There's no childcare, though. Why would you risk it? Don't worry about money. Your health is more important than your groceries. You can defer mortgage payments, but you shouldn't because it's not a good financial choice. You should stay home, though. Unless you're essential, we need you to work. How could you put your kids at risk, though? You should stay home. But keep paying your bills. Relax. You can just order groceries, except if you can't. Then go out and get them. But not often, though. Don't go out much, except it takes 5 stores to find bread or toilet paper. Don't forget to wash everything you buy. Just eat what you have at home, but also use this time to do lots of cooking with new recipes. Don't overeat, though. Be healthy. Relax. Take vitamins. Keep up the immune system with lots of vegetables. But you shouldn't go out for vegetables. Just stock up on pantry and non-perishables. Only the healthy ones, though. It's okay, we are all stressed. Treat yourself to some junk food. Not too much, though. You need to be healthy and fit in those jeans. Relax. Get exercise. It will help. Drink more water. Just have a glass of wine. Go for walks. Take naps. Keep a schedule. Work from home, but spend more time with your kids. Use this time to get in shape. Don't stress over it, though. Be easy on yourself. Accomplish something new. Relax. Don't touch anything. Disinfect everything. Use this time to clean the house. Stop touching your face. Scrub every surface all day. Ensure your toddler practices social distancing. Don't worry them, though. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Now do it again. And now all the kids, too. And again. Why did you even bring them outside? You should have kept them home. Except you'll need food. Remember all those new recipes you have time to try now. Relax. Make sure your kids have a schedule. But don't worry, let them be kids. You can homeschool. You don't need to homeschool. You're trying too hard. They'll be fine if they don't learn. They still need to graduate this year, though, so make sure they keep up with that schoolwork. It will be fine. Don't push them. Let them enjoy home life. Teach them life lessons and Common Core. They'll remember the good times, so don't worry them and create positive memories. Relax. Don't watch the news. Make sure you're informed. Keep off social media, but stay connected. Try and focus on the positive. Be sure you know how serious it is, though. Don't worry needlessly, but don't take it too lightly. Don't let the kids see your fear, but don't bottle things up. Relax. Don't hoard. Do you have enough supplies for your family? What if they get sick? Do you have medicine? What if you have to isolate? Will you be able to feed the kids for 2 weeks? Don't worry about it, though. Just focus on now. But be prepared. Otherwise, you're just being irresponsible. Relax. Is that a cough? Does your kid feel hot? Is the tightness in your chest anxiety or just the virus? Just breathe. But don't be irresponsible. Stay home if you feel sick. That's not sickness, that's your fear. Don't let your kids outside. Don't let them home if you go out. Don't leave them home if you go out. Give them fresh air. Keep them home. Relax. Someone else has it worse. You can't complain. Learn meditation. Learn a new language. Learn to relax. But not too much, because these are scary times. It's easy. It will be fine. Relax. I loved that poem. I read that this morning, and I'm sorry it took 4 minutes. I didn't realize how long it was going to take to read it. But gosh, I just loved reading that poem because I feel like even I'm at fault because I'm doing these videos saying, drink lots of water and go exercise and it's fine. And so I just think like we're getting all these messages right now about what to do and how best to cope and setting your schedule and stuff that I've been trying to help with because I know people have asked. But at the same time, I think we just need to acknowledge like this is such an uncertain time, like completely unprecedented in our lifetimes for sure, and even our parents' lifetimes. I was talking to my mom and she was like, this is unlike anything I've ever dealt with before. My mom's in her 70s, so for sure unprecedented times. And I guess I kind of wanted to read that to remind everybody. I think sometimes we look at our emotions and say that they're wrong. Our emotions are our emotions. They're not wrong. They're processed in a part of your brain that happens before oops, sorry, a pop-up came up, CNN, that are processed in your brain and sort of like the primal part of your brain before you can even reason, which is up here, frontal lobe, before you can even reason them. So when you have an emotion, it's not wrong. So please, during this time, let's not label our emotions wrong in any way. I don't want people doing that. I want to sort of have us accept that we might have increased anxiety, like the poem said. I know sometimes my sister and I were talking about, like, I was like, oh, I have chest pains. What's wrong with me? Well, I have bad allergies, and here I am outside, but it's so pretty. But like, that could have been that. Or it could have been anxiety. I was talking to somebody else who was saying every time their kid coughs or the fever, they're worried that they have the virus. And so I think those are normal concerns, absolutely. But try to look at the reputable information that's out there from CDC, the health departments, World Health Organization. That's something for sure that I've tried to make sure that I've done, is stop looking at mass social media as much, because it was getting me really worked up and kind of anxious. So that's something I wanted people to talk about, or people to know. The other thing is looking at the fact that acknowledging, like I said, it's an uncertain time. We don't know when this is going to end. We don't know what's going to happen. And that's not a doomsday thing. It's just that a lot of times when we deal with stress, anytime you do something hard, you kind of know there's an end point. So if you run a marathon, you know when you're getting close to the end. If you're on a deployment, you know when you're kind of close to the end of the deployment, and your spouse home knows you're kind of close to the end of the deployment. Or, grad school, I think about that too. You kind of know there's an endpoint. And for this, there is no endpoint. And that is really, really difficult for us to deal with, because it's sort of like, it's an uncertain time. And so that's one of those things where I think just taking it day by day, week by week, setting small goals, I think is really important. But acknowledging the uncertainty that comes with having an end date that is not clear, and acknowledging that's very important. I talk about here, be mindful of other stresses that you may have had right before this. So a new baby, your spouse either going on deployment or coming home from deployment, a new house, a sick family member, loss of a family member, any of those things that are normal life stresses for us. And some of those things aren't even bad. A new home is a good thing, but it still stresses us out. So acknowledge if you already had pre-existing stress going on, that this is likely going to heighten the level of stress that you have, and just acknowledge that. And then finally, one of the things I've been thinking about a lot in talking to some of my friends who are clinical providers, are the people who have had anxiety or depression sort of in their history, lifelong, or maybe even it's just a recent onset with postpartum or something going on in your life. That these are the times where maybe you had overcome that anxiety or depression, either through the use of therapy or medication or just on your own. But now you're kind of seeing a resurgence in it. And I definitely want to reassure you that this is not, like, I don't want you to catastrophize and think that I have a resurgence, I'm never going to get better, I have it again. You're having what is a very, very normal reaction to very extraordinary circumstances. So this may be that you return to some of those things that helped you get through it before. I always tell people, return to those habits that helped you get through bad times before. Look at the times where you've dealt with something bad. What helped you get through that? Try to use those again. If that means you go back on medication because that's what worked for you before for a time, that's fine too. Please give yourself some patience and grace during this time, and do the things that have worked for you in the past and that are working for you now. Whether they are on your schedule or what everybody else is doing, it doesn't matter. You need to do what is making, sorry, the sun's starting to drift in here. You need to do what makes sense for you and what works for you. But please don't think that you having a normal reaction to an extraordinary time is that you're regressing or anything like that. I'm going to do a separate talk on kids' behaviors during this time, from small toddlers through to adolescent, but kids also may see a regression in their behavior, particularly if you were training them on a certain thing. So whether it was toilet training, biting, any sort of behavior modification, you might see a regression in behavior, bedwetting, for example. And that just could be because, that's how they're processing emotion. So I'll kind of go over in another video how to address those concerns with kids, because I think that's important. I talk about basically reaching out to people that you think, if you think that you know, hey, I am having some anxiety, or I am having some depression. How do you know when it's too much? And I would say that would come into when you are not sleeping at all, if you're having significant weight loss, significant weight gain, any thoughts of self-harm or anything like that, definitely please reach out to a mental health professional. You can even find one through this video, and I've given out my email before, but please reach out to a mental health professional if you're feeling really, really dire, because we have people that can talk to you and help you through this time. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted. I had a different talk in mind for today, but after I read that poem this morning, I really just wanted to come on and reassure people that, you know, emotions are not wrong. There is going to be an end. We will get through this. We absolutely will. I believe in that, and I feel hopeful that, you know, at least the news is starting to indicate that the curve is flattening if we continue to maintain social distancing. So I do believe this will end. I do believe if you're having some negative emotions or emotions that you view as negative or sort of not part of how you're normally feeling, that is temporary and will go away, and that the more patient and sort of accepting we are with ourselves with those emotions, the better course that will be. Okay. Again, if you have any comments, please leave them below, and I will hop on later today to do another one, but I really just wanted to do this now. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.